So, how are things? You haven't left the house,
I haven't left the house. I've
yeah,
been
like ever?
quarantined. It's
Since
like being
when?
under house arrest.
Yeah, but it's your own self. All right, well, and you're in solitary confinement. That's even worse.
Yeah. So it's not so bad, in other words.
So, not even to get food or anything, or just to get a
I didn't
sandwich?
have to.
What?
I've got enough to eat. I don't have to go out.
Did you get that Costco survival bundle?
I know.
You know, it's like thousands of dollars, and it's just canned
Really?
goods. But if it's the end of the world, you're happy to have it.
Yeah, it's what's the alternative?
I don't know. I don't even know what the proposition is, let alone the alternative.
We need a thesis.
I'm sorry?
We need a thesis.
Yeah, how about yours? Is it done yet? What is that? The French literary,
That was a dissertation. I got the thesis done, but I
oh, the
just didn't.
thesis. How did
I
that go? Did you have to stand up and defend it?
no,
No.
it defended itself.
It spoke for
It
itself, huh?
spoke for itself.
What was it on again? I forgot your thesis.
My my thesis was on a manuscript that's in Rome. I never did see it because I've never been to Rome.
Did it have a title? I guess is what I'm asking.
The Saint Cecilia, I forgot it. It had a number. It was a
Saint
manuscript.
Cecilia's what?
Well, it was a Saint. It was a manuscript of music in Saint Cecilia Conservatory in Rome, and
Okay.
I had it on microfilm.
All right. Well, in that
Oh,
case, yeah, are you worried about Christian?
Christian who?
Christian, Yelich
Oh, no, I'm not worried about him.
playing COVID ball.
It's what all the kids are playing these days.
Yeah, okay. God forbid something happens to him. Or that
Are they
basketball. You follow basketball too, don't you? They're playing in the bubble now.
No, I don't. I've never followed basketball.
It did. Well, it did.
It's a rather boring
For
game.
a while, you were following the Badgers and all that.
No, just enough to be, aware of my surroundings. But
No.
now
Okay.
we're inside, we don't care anymore.
All right. All right. So, nothing else to talk about. They might as well go right to all the news that isn't
Oh boy.
for August 1, 2020. All right, here we go. This is going to be interesting too because there's a little audio visual overlay at a certain point, and that's bound to work. Okay. Trump wants to delay elections to the 12th day of never. Cue shy lights. That worked well. Nancy Pelosi mandates masks for House members, but you can wear them around your neck if you can carry the look off. And she certainly can. We can see Nancy Pelosi. And she's not wearing it properly, but, it's good neck wear for her. And it's not just the wrinkle thing, or I'd be wearing one too. All right. In other news, you watch. Herman Cain will lie in state in the Capitol, and Trump will be there with bells on. Bells on. They found where Stonehenge's stones come from. Stonehenge are us. Was a hard one to think of. The first application of the Trump new tactical approach to COVID-19 comes after two Philadelphia Phillies are found to be infected, so Citizens Bank Stadium will be nuked. But in the president's own words, it'll be a tough love nuking. And he's always wanted to use those things. So this is perfect and well within his powers. Children are being offered alternative service in lieu of going back to school if they enroll in the Trump Youth Brigade or the Girls Auxiliary, the Trumpettes. So kids do have some choice. In this matter, the GDP fell by a third, and I've lost weight myself. Now, this is both the economy's and my biggest plunge ever. And here's a conspiracy theory I'd like to start. This all began when promotion people at Procter & Gamble's tossed around a few ideas on how to make the stellar but stagnant line of P&G cleaning and hygiene products not just a should-have, but a better damn have around the house. Huh? Finally, a conspiracy having what other conspiracies don't. Vote it. Sleeping microbes wake up after 100 million years buried under the seafloor. So what's your point? Why even tell me this? Is it a metaphor? I don't think so. Researchers find a way to genetically alter squid. Trump calls, asks if there's a vaccine in it. Shipments of unsolicited seed packets, supposedly from China, turn out to be from Pekin, Illinois, a.k.a. the town darn close to Peoria, which is very proud of its seed industry. So it's just a big mix-up. Pekin is in Illinois. Peking.
Peoria.
Yeah. We've been there.
The Pekin or Peoria?
We've only been to both, I think, have we? We've been to Peoria and Pekin. So, and I'm not bragging here.
I think you just drive by Pekin.
Yeah. Oh, hi, Andy. God, it looks like we woke you up. How you doing?
Who's that?
Huh?
Is it me?
That's you.
Oh.
No, this
How'd
is
you do it
me.
so-
And this is
How'd you do it
this
so
is Lyle
fast?
Anderson here. This is my cohort. And boy, you look pretty tired. Were you up late?
Who, me?
Who,
No.
you?
No.
No. Okay.
I always I haven't been sleeping since the quarantine.
Okay. All right. I got to finish up these jokes. I'm slaying them right now. But there's no way of knowing it because we're on the Zoom. Where was I? The Anthony Fauci baseball card, which captures him in the midst of throwing out the first opening day pitch ever to first base, has shattered Topps first day record with 51,512 sold of his card. Anthony, and doesn't even play baseball. That's quite a mark there. You have to beat that one. Fauci said of his errant throw, "I completely miscalculated the distance from the mound," which is not reassuring either for his baseball or his COVID-19 prospects. In other news, researchers are debating the ethics of converting female mosquitoes to non-biting males without the consent of the female. And I'm not going to take a swat at that one. And finally, unable to delay the election, Trump now says he will hold his breath all day on November 3rd, as will the rest of us. That's all the news that isn't. Okay. They're laughing in the aisles right now. If there were aisles. We don't have aisles. Andy Kindler has joined us.
What?
How are you?
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning to you.
Good morning, Zoom. I think.
Yes.
Don't you think Zoom is going to be? Why leave the house ever again? Is my
right.
Even without the quarantine.
Right. There's no reason. In fact, Lyle has just said that earlier. He has not left the house now in a week. A week?
A week, yeah.
A week or 10 days, yes. No, he's not with you. He's up here. I know
I'm sorry.
Have you been doing a lot of the Zoom things?
I have been doing, well, I would say, and I think you can back me up on this, I've never done a lot of things. There's no way I'm winning the Zoom war. Yeah. I mean, but I have done. But the thing is, my problem is I am of the generation where like I can see my router from here, and that seems to be the only way I can get a Zoom call. Is I have to be catty corner to my actual router.
Yes, but
it's coming in nice today, right?
Yes. And you know what a router is, which puts you one step ahead of Lyle Anderson. I had to learn it the hard way.
He got a new one.
He had a roto router for many years.
Call Roto Router.
Roto Router.
That's the name.
They will, yeah.
And away will go your Wi-Fi. Huh?
Yeah.
See, no wonder why I don't do the Weird Al type of song parodies.
You should be much more commercial than you are, really. Forget this comedy thing. Especially now.
That ship has sailed. That ship has sailed.
Sales. So we always said about go into sales. Don't be a folk singer. What is that? Sales.
Well, I used to sell stereos. That's what.
There you go.
I know
I bet
what a
you-
router is.
I bet you were the greatest.
I wasn't a good stereo salesman because I tried to steer them towards good equipment, which is really not what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, no,
Bait and switch time.
yeah, bait and switch. That's the story of my life. Let me ask you this, Andy: where were you at the 4.2?
Where was I? I was up.
Yeah.
First of all, I pointed out to people on the internet.
Yeah.
On the internet, see,
Yeah.
there's the router. That it was 2 minutes before the biggie, what I call the biggie, January 17th, 1994. It was a 6.7 earthquake. So it's really, I don't know what I'm saying there. It was Kismet, or everything was coming back around?
Yeah, I think Kishmir is the word you wanted.
See, I'm up early, and I enjoy that kind of, I don't need a cup of coffee before I enjoy that kind of comedy.
No.
Wordplay, to me, there's always room for wordplay.
Yeah, it's not the lowest form of humor. I think we've proven that.
That sounds like Tom Selleck on those commercials where he starts out, "I'm not here to rip your house off. That's what you're worried about. This isn't some kind of a scam."
He's horrible. I hate Tom Selleck. I sort of liked him after that baseball movie. We played baseball in Japan. I thought that was a really good movie. But he's ripping off old people for all kinds of reasons.
At least he looks like he has mixed feelings about it. And he's so down. It made me, it made me want to start to research, like investigatively, reverse mortgages, because he seems so upset.
Are you sure that verb investigatively?
Investigative. Are you impressed with my ability to put together, what are those things called? Words?
Yeah. Well, adverb.
I don't know what an adverb is. Now,
put an ly on something, or sometimes a double ly. And there you go. I used to be an English teacher, so I can help you in this area.
Oh my God, I was an English major. Yeah. Oh, maybe I'm saying it wrong. No wonder why I didn't do well.
Yeah.
SUNY Binghamton.
Force majeure, I think, is what you meant to say.
I hate to stick it in your face.
Yeah.
I went to the State University of New York at Binghamton. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Which was the Ivy League of upstate New York.
Yes. Well, I was sifting and winnowing here at the University of Wisconsin.
Now that's a school. That's a school.
Yeah, that's a school. Not anymore.
No.
Now it's online like everything else.
Well, it's not a state anymore, right?
It's what?
It's not a state, really, Wisconsin.
No, thanks to you taking care of our governor on Twitter. Thanks a lot. I appreciate that.
I felt bad about him because he seems to be a good guy, Scott Walker.
He's not.
He's not the governor anymore, is he?
No. That's
Thank
why
God.
It's not worth your time. I know you're fighting the good fight on Twitter. And
I'm not. I'm fighting. I argued, I think, with a robot last night. You don't even know who you're arguing with. Why? He goes, why does loves to serial kill 666 have a problem with my head? Why is he upset? Why is Razor Blade and Apple all of a sudden mad at my comedy?
I know. They get all the good names. The bad guys get all the good names. We need a better name.
Well, we use our own name online. That's the biggest mistake we've ever made.
Yeah, I thought you had to.
I see. I missed one time we had a show. I missed it.
Okay.
But I set 15 alarm clocks.
You did?
Yeah.
You're not normally an early riser?
Well, now I had a Paul Reiser joke going right there in my head.
Yeah.
As you were saying, early riser. I'm just saying I have all the ingredients of the joke.
Is he there with you?
Do you know Paul Reiser is exactly my age? Andy, you look so much younger than him, Andy. So much younger.
And you look so much younger than him, Andy. So much younger.
Can you say it with more vim?
That was maximum vim for me. I don't know about you. But, the reason I brought up the 4.2 thing is that all these celebrities went online with their responses to it. See who could.
Oh, yeah. Well, I try and get in the mix with my. I do a couple of 80s Did the Earth Move jokes.
Yeah.
Warm that up.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
So give me some of the highlights.
All right. Patton Oswalt said, just realized my earthquake kit is a bag of Doritos and one snow boot. What do you think?
I did not. I gotta tell you,
Yeah.
you save it. You save a joke with snow boot. You know what I'm saying?
Save
You
a
come
joke
to
with
the joke for earthquake material,
Yeah.
but you stay for snow boot.
You got to tell Patton that. You know.
I will tell him that. I
Yeah.
will tell him as soon as I'm. And by the way, I say that as if the celebrities' numbers are at my fingertips.
Yeah. But you know what's disappointing is Billy Eichner, who's a pretty funny guy,
Yeah.
said, felt the earthquake and I liked it. That was
Okay.
Yeah.
That's not.
Wasn't
That's
even
not
trying.
worth Billy. No, he's a genius. But
Yeah.
Billy was probably woke. You know what? I think he was like startled by the earthquake, and so
Yeah.
he went right for the usual jokes.
Yeah. Whereas Khloe Kardashian said, "Oh man," 2 exclamation points. Wow, that felt much bigger than a 4.5 earthquake. The hashtag in front of earthquake. So scary, 1 exclamation point. Sneakers and my flashlight by my bed.
Is that still the same Kardashian?
That's Khloe, yeah.
She's went. Is it ... Must get to refrigerator ... Water.
All right.
Water.
Okay, I can see why you didn't enter this competition.
No, I want more. Come on. Why am I cutting you up, Michael? It's my fault.
What?
I messed. That bit was going to the Hall of Fame.
No. Hence the humor.
Hence the humor. And don't even think that I'm here to
Yeah.
pitch my digital download.
Yeah.
Finally,
Your
at
first
my
comedy album in 28 years, and they no longer have albums, so that was timely.
I know.
Yeah.
Do you know that's the first? This is the first album I ever. Well, it's not an album. Actually, I have a podcast, my own podcast, that's only available on vinyl. The only way you can get it. You have to wait 2 weeks.
Are you still doing your podcast? I know I haven't heard it.
I
recently.
am.
Yeah.
I am. It's two. We call it. It's a thought spiral, and we call it 2 Jews, 2 microphones, 2 hours. Does that sound?
That's the subtitle?
No guests. No guests.
No
Nobody.
guests.
Just 2 Jews. At least we have different voices, though.
And most of the time is him. I can't call him. It's
J. Elvis Weinstein.
yeah. How could I forget J. Elvis? Followed by Weinstein. Now there's the snow boot
Yeah.
in action. And most of the time it's you, and you're having various thoughts of various kinds, and he's there to listen and advise you on whatever it is.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes he's there to tell me, hey, Andy, why don't you listen every once in a while? That's my only downside
Yeah.
as a podcaster. Is oh, someone else is talking? Oh, okay. But
Maybe you should do it alone.
Well, it took me 2 years to figure out that listening, that's maybe why I haven't gotten all the acting parts that I wanted,
Yeah.
because I wasn't listening.
Yeah.
When I will act with
But
someone,
why do you
and
get the cartoon parts is what I want to know. I mean,
I do get, well, I got the cartoon parts all from connections. Because I knew Jonathan Katz
Yeah.
back in the, you know Jonathan Katz.
I don't know Jonathan Katz. I don't know anybody. I know
Well,
Lyle. That's it.
You don't know how well known you are amongst
don't.
you are a,
No, I'm not.
a monument?
No. That's too strong.
Are you a credit to your race? That used to be the 50s.
No,
right?
I don't think that's. I don't think I want to go that direction.
Are you going away from your Jewishness? Is that what you're saying to me?
No, I'm approaching it more and more as I age, and I'm thinking, what? To me, this should happen. A man my age should feel this.
Look, I used to have a theory, Michael.
What?
That Jews were funny no matter, even if they're not trying to be. And
Yeah.
because I was with
Especially
my
if.
well, it's even worse then.
Yeah.
But my father's Jewish friend, we were watching Simon and Garfunkel live from Central Park.
Yeah.
Free. And he turns to me and goes, that Paul Simon's okay. He's not one of those jazzed up characters in the cockamamie outfits.
Okay, I understand what he's saying, and at the time it was prescient.
And you of all people, you
But
can't
how is
put me
that
down
Jewish?
for old references.
Is that Jewish? Don't other people talk like that? Doesn't an Episcopalian? Wouldn't you say the same thing?
He probably would. And you're now getting underneath the skin of why my Jewish material might not be really Jewish material.
No.
It's just
Yeah,
people
on the other hand, it
material.
really is. So we know that. So let's not kid ourselves.
If we don't kid ourselves soon in comedy, there might not be anybody else left.
Right. Okay.
Oh, I thought that was stronger, Michael. Michael, that's
so
not
hence the
stronger
humor.
coming out.
Not to transition to that or anything like that. But
Hence the Humor is an album that I sat on for 7 years.
really, and it was vinyl, and so you had to do it differently next time.
And finally it cracked. No, because I have terrible OCD as opposed to attractive OCD or fun OCD.
Yeah.
And so I had made it in 2013.
So you have the bad OCD.
Yes, I have a bad or a virulent. I have a virulent form of OCD. And I recorded it with a lot of because I don't complete projects. I had made a DVD. I made my own DVD. But this is my first and I delayed it for years because I wanted a physical copy of it.
Yeah.
And then I decided that once the COVID thing hit, I said, I never again want to be signing like an old album, or, interacting with people after a show with their spitting on me.
No more physical copies for you.
No physical copies.
Or physical contact with physical copies.
Right. So this finally, I'm very proud of it because
yes,
I thought at this point it would be, I knew it wouldn't be time problem because I included future jokes as a part of the bit. I said, hey, where'd you get that shirt with Bitcoin? Stuff like that.
Good stuff. You know what I like about it too is that you teach humor while you're actually doing humor.
I think that's a good description, and I'm also communicating to the people who can't see at home. That became a theme of the show. Was they can't see this on the album, Mandy. They can't. They don't know what you're gesturing about.
No.
And to me, that's comedy to me in many ways. Hence the comedy.
It's not gesture comedy, but it's very good comedy.
That's my pull quote.
Yeah. Because you're not doing the tie thing like this, which, that was a big help for him.
He would have, Ron Dangerfield was so great that he didn't need the tie thing, but everything worked as opposed to me. Yeah. My things, when I do a thing with my jacket or something, people get concerned.
Yeah. Or go for your zipper and try to get your
but he was
out of it. It's almost impossible.
But I love the whole story with him where he was selling aluminum siding and then he went back to comedy at 40.
Really?
Right?
Is that true?
Yeah. He had done an act early on and then he got out of the business or whatever. And then his original name was Jack Roy. What am I? What is this? Who am I now? The History of Comedy guy?
Welcome to History of Comedy with an historical comedian himself.
And that
Andy
was
Kindler.
called vaudeville.
Do you know supposedly there was a guy in vaudeville who could sing with his farts? Who could do songs with his farts? Do you know if that's true? Has that ever been verified to your?
I know. I could check with someone who might know. Yeah. Who's written books and things, but it does sound. You know what? I've seen that in comedy in my own generation.
Is there someone who does that?
Well, he did a thing where he would use a lighter. I'm not embracing.
Oh, that's not. No, that's not.
But he lighted his thing. And, yeah, exactly.
All right.
Which was
comedy
not a bad
clubs.
closer.
I'm sorry. What?
Not a bad closer. Sorry.
No. Comedy clubs are not hot right now because you can't socially distance in the average comedy club, and you'd have to work at a mask.
I haven't been out there.
Yeah. Is any of it going on live?
People are trying to do. I've done like a Zoom kind of comedy show, and it doesn't bother me because I'm used to empty rooms. I'm used to a poor reaction. I'm used to delays, which seem like delays. But when I have until I can see the router today, the worst is when you freeze on a Zoom call on the podcast.
In public is even. I thought when I'm actually doing something live and I freeze, and then your glands open up in your arms and you get that water flowage. That ever happened to you? Did you ever have flop sweat? I did. Yeah.
I not exactly this broadcast news level, but early on, I was a sweater. You can't avoid it. I used to wear things under my arms.
Do
you know what I mean?
Protectors?
Yeah, but then that just schwitzes it up here.
Information, Andy. Welcome to Too Much Information with Andy Kindler.
That's what. Hey, you should tell me. Save it for panel.
Save it for panel. I don't even know what that means. Hitler. Funny?
Yes. Why do
not?
I keep? What's that?
Hitler. Funny or not?
Well, he certainly, to me, I, as a Jewish person, started comparing everyone to Hitler from a young age. Including my mother. I'd say, have a nice evening, Eva Braun. See you in the morning. It's part of our culture. Is that
you said that to your mother?
The dentist wants to see me. I don't think I need to see Mengele this early in the morning. Boom! It killed in Queens. But now I compare Trump to Hitler. So I say Trump is exactly like Hitler, except at least Hitler was a veteran.
Okay.
He served in World War I.
Yeah. There you go.
I'm trying to build sympathy for Hitler now.
Yeah, I know. Okay. All right. It covers both Hitler and Trump. Pandemic jokes, a little tough. Too soon?
Too soon. Hey, what's the matter, darling? Oh, you passed away. Sorry about that. No.
Yeah.
Did I go too far?
No. I would never
once
say
it goes over 150,000 deaths, it's Katie bar the door.
Yeah. Andy, I'll tell you honestly, you can't go too far for me. I mean, distance-wise.
I knew that's exactly where I was.
Snow boot.
My grandfather used to say, he used to go, "You're a good kid when you're sleeping." Hey,
I know.
Then he would say, "What are you going to get me for your birthday?"
Oh, yeah. See, now that we're getting into the true Jewish humor. It's not really mega stuff, it's
no
little nudgy humor.
Little nudgy.
Yeah.
There's always a level of complaining and whining.
And reversals are common. Reversals are common,
What's reversal?
Like, what are you going to get me? Reversal humor, Oh boy, that's funny if you turn that around,
My father was very funny.
I bet he was.
More sophisticated bits.
Yeah.
And he said this to me, and it took me till about last week to figure out what he meant.
Yeah.
I would say, "See you later, Dad," and he would say, "Not if I see you first."
Oh yeah, I heard that one a couple of times.
You did, but as a young Andy Kindler was like, "What does he mean?" Now I figured out when I was 18. Oh, if he sees me coming towards him, he'll avoid me. My own father.
Yeah. All right. Well, here, I got one for you. Dad humor. My dad used to say to me, "Michael, they're just this far apart." And that was it. And I didn't know what he meant. I didn't know what was the things that were close.
The rhythm's good. The rhythm is good.
The rhythm is good. I had no idea. I didn't found out. In my 30s, I kind of figured it out inadvertently in a certain circumstance.
Well, now tell me, what do you think it was?
I really, I don't think about it. I want you to think about it for the next 25
We're
years.
this far, we're this close.
No, they're just this far apart.
I think that's meta comedy. He would have enjoyed.
He did a lot of, let me say this, a lot of his jokes were disguised sexual jokes, so I'll give you that. All right.
Okay.
I was the first to say. What? You do a bit about, you were the first comic.
I was the first, my mother was the first person to use hip expression. She said, "Andy, come back inside the house. The phone is off the hook." Andy, Your uncle's back problems are chronic.
Uh,
Okay,
so
I think I've lost.
the catchphrases? Is that what is this?
It's more like she was saying, Andy, your friends are in the house. Come back. That type of thing. So she's saying in the house, and then later it got to be a popular expression. A lot of these jokes only work interfamilial.
Let's backtrack just a minute. How did it spread from your mother to the general population?
Well, because she was so hip. People were like, really, would come over to our house and go, let me tell you something about your mom. She is with it.
Yeah. And they would use it in their own conversations, and they would fan out.
They would go, hey, get back inside. Your friends are in the house. And then we'd start going, hey, in the house.
Hey, okay, so that's where that comes from. I was the first.
Your cousin is he still in the crib? See how the joke works? Finally, I executed the joke, and I apologize for my false starts.
But what about you yourself now? You make a claim on this first album in 28 years, but you do make a claim in it. You say you were the first to say many things in common usage. Now, you yourself.
Oh, yes. I was the first person. First of all, I was the first comedian to pretend that the material was off the top of my head. Wait. Here's another joke I've been doing for 43 years. That was me. I was the first comedian to find out the difference between men and women. Before me, the people didn't know where the joke was going.
Yeah, you mean behavioral differences between men and women?
Yeah, because men and women, the difference between men and women are unbelievable. Because women, they go to the bathroom in pairs, right? Right, fellas? This guy knows what I'm talking about. Yeah. And men are often verbally abusive, and sometimes they get physically abusive, and you might have to go to a shelter.
Yes.
Because guys and girls are different. Who's with me on this? This is meta humor, or
okay, the first to say.
Slightly. I was the first comic to say, "Am I right, ladies?" That was me. That was the first. I was the first in 1987, Michael. I said, "Am I right, ladies?" And it took off. Before that, the guys didn't care if the ladies thought they were correct. But
what about now the Seinfeld thing? What is it with that thing? Did you do that first?
Oh, I was. Yeah. Who's the genius rocket scientist who came up with the idea of the space program? I was. There used to be a joke, and this joke is actually a joke that I didn't write, but they said, "What's the difference between Paul Reiser and Jerry Seinfeld?" He used to go around the comedy clubs, and this was the difference. Who are these people, and who are these people? Who are these people? That could be Paul Reiser, right? And then it could be Jerry. Who are these people? Not my joke. Not my joke. It made the rounds.
Yeah. Well, now a lot of people are not comedians. A lot of people
hey, don't say
they
that.
Are, but they're not. They're not.
Yeah, they're not.
And performing a set, it's a finely tuned. It's like a ballet of words. Right.
Yes.
Well, that's a mixed metaphor. Anyway.
No, I was going with you. I was mesmerized by, even if it was a mixed metaphor. It sounds like you watched The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, because they mix the metaphors all night long.
Yeah. No, that's off. Now I got to think about them. You watch that in your place?
I do. I watch when I watch The Real Housewives of three various areas.
Yeah.
We know it's not good. If that's any comfort.
Yeah.
We also watch 90 Day Fiancé. Oh my God! It's not as it's
90 Day Beyonce.
90 Day Fiancé.
You get Beyonce for 90 days? Where do I sign up for this?
Oh, these ideas fly. They sell themselves.
They do. Did you say that first?
Yes.
Yes.
These jokes write themselves because people don't want to have anything to do with them.
All right, but I'm talking about building a set.
Mm-hmm.
I don't mean a physical set, getting out there and that's carpentry. That's not what you do. It is a carpentry of sort.
I do.
A
I
carpentry of
deconstruct.
humor. You're constructing an arc of humor.
Right. And I'm doing the joke. Then I talk about whether I thought the joke got a decent enough response.
Yeah.
And then I tell people why they should have laughed at the joke.
Yeah.
I take apart the joke.
Yeah.
And as I used to say before the comedy business, I was in the deconstruction business.
Yeah.
I would build anything. I would just comment while other people built. Drywall looks more like wet wall.
What is it with drywall?
Drywall, folks.
Yeah.
What is it with the insulation? I haven't seen that since my wedding night, which is a good go-to. Your wedding night is always a good go-to for your new comics.
Yeah. All right. I wish I would have known that.
But what you're saying is exactly right. It's so much. It's
What did I
more
say?
of a let's take a look at comedy act.
Yes. And the transitions and stuff, but they're all planned out. They're timed. People think probably he's just making this up off the top of his head, as you said. But this is all, it's a ballet of words.
Right. Now, in this case, there was some happy, and this show was really helped by happy accident. The very first line of the show, the microphone separated and fell on the stage.
Yeah, that's good.
And then I started to pretend like I was angry at the record label, which was AST Records. And I said, get me somebody smaller on the phone.
AST, do you know what the letters stand
A
for?
special thing. It was a special thing records. It was based on, it used to be like a message board type thing. And then they started to, now they're a record label.
So it's not Warner Brothers or Columbia or
No, it's a special
any of those
thing.
non-existent labels anymore. Okay.
Oh, that would have been good in the old days to be
Yeah.
the button-down tie of Andy Kindler.
Let me see. Where wasn't I? Does that mean anything to you?
I like that one. Why am I laughing at my own material?
I know.
Where
Expand
wasn't
on
I?
that. Where wasn't
Where
I?
wasn't I, folks?
Yeah.
Folks, this guy knows what I'm talking about. That's my other favorite thing is the comics who know what everyone's saying. This guy knows what I'm talking about. This lady over here is going, how does that guy know what he's talking about?
Yeah.
And then the guy in the back's going, how come I didn't get a seat close to the front?
You were the first to
And then
do
the
that.
guy in the right?
Yeah. Yeah. And then do you ever pick someone out of the audience and say, where are you from, sir? And then you say, I can tell by your tie or something like that.
I never was good with that.
No.
I never was. I also could see how. Well, but first of all, you do that, but you don't do the. You do it for real. That's to me. That's.
With real.
I don't think I could do that.
Yeah.
Because I'd have to. I would get very scared that my ad-libbing with the person wasn't working, and then I would blame them.
Yeah. See, that's because I had no routine at all. My routine was the audience. They gave me all the material.
Who do you think influenced me? This is what I would like to do.
Yeah.
I would like to have. I have books.
I influenced
right now,
you? Really?
I have all these books.
Yeah.
Books.
Let's
What
read
am I
through
going to
some
do
of those.
during this interview?
It says PayPal on one of them. What is that? Going to do a thing on PayPal? What is it with PayPal?
What's up with this PayPal? What is that, a pay friend? Good night, everybody. No, my therapist, I still have therapy, thank God, on the phone.
Yeah.
And she was saying she doesn't like to go into the office. Do I have a PayPal account? And as soon as I heard that, I wrote it down. I even put one of these things.
Yeah.
It says therapy.
Therapy. God, you got things that stick on the page too. That's amazing. I don't think.
Well, I'm sure you're a Vendome guy or something.
Yeah. Okay.
Venmo.
Related to where wasn't I? Perhaps I don't know. I just came back from.
I just flew back from Canada, and boy, am I tired of my material.
Great, because we're expecting the arms thing. We get.
Yeah.
You're tired of your material, so it's
Boy, am I tired.
Yeah, it turns back on you. Wonderful. And you
Just got back.
This was
I'm
in
sorry.
Salt Lake City, wasn't it? This album.
Oh yes, because what happens is that, and this really was based on truth, is that whenever I own Drawwell, which I never do Drawwell, they always the club owners seem to feel bad. Like I was in Salt Lake City, and the guy's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, Andy. The circus is in town. It's hard to come. The circus is in town. Wow, I can't believe anyone's here. my
A lot of overlapping
circus-
audience between circus and
Yeah,
Kindler
that my
crowd.
circus. They have to choose now between seeing a disconsolate elephant walk around in a circle or the.
Are you referring to
arcane
yourself?
reference-
I hope not, because that's time to hit that PayPal account and get some her way or his.
Don't make me write a note next to my PayPal
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
And then they say things like, "Oh, I'm sorry, Andy. My friend's having a barbecue. He draws very, very well." And then, "Oh, I'm sorry, Andy. People in this town don't like to go out unless they're excited or they know the act."
Yeah. And then once you get to Salt Lake City, have you researched Salt Lake? Because when we would go to towns around, I would get the newspapers from that town 3 months in
Right.
advance. Really. We're going to Huntsville, Alabama, get the paper out of the, before we had internet. Get the papers 3 months in advance. I'd read through them all and look for anything. So when I got there, I hit it on all the points that they didn't want to
I
talk
got
about.
one for
about their
Huntsville.
town. What?
I got Huntsville for you.
You?
The Unclaimed Baggage Center.
That's a good one. I think I might.
Did
have
you ever
used
go to
that.
Huntsville though?
Yes.
That happens to be one of their big things. Is the
Yeah.
unclaimed.
That and
Baggage
rockets.
center.
And then rocket science, which unclaimed baggage is not rocket science. Let's face it.
How many? I mean, how many cities would you say you visited? Have you gone?
Lyle,
taken your trip
Lyle
to?
might have the number of that. Lyle?
At least 100, I think.
Oh, more than that, I think.
No,
So you-
100 cities, yeah. Some
Yeah.
twice. So it's
yes,
merely
maybe
90.
twice.
Yeah, and now like the comics would find out, like if they go to Canada, do you have a 7-Eleven here? What do
Well,
I
so
have
what-
to do my jokes in metric all of a sudden?
And kilometers.
Or they go, what's the name of the gay bar? And they, oh, I'm sorry, I went to Fireman's last night, and oh, was that a gay bar? If you look at Johnny Carson shows in the '80s, there was so much homophobia.
Yeah.
It's like every other joke is making fun of someone being fey, whatever that
Yeah.
word means.
Yeah.
It doesn't hold up well.
No, it doesn't. In fact, almost nothing holds up well from those days. And nothing from these days will hold up well in the future, I predict.
You know what still holds up?
What?
References like, I went to my doctor, Dr. Venny Boom Bots. Now that's going to work. That's going to work in any format.
Doesn't it need to be something beyond that? I mean, and then there's no snow boot on that.
No. Well, that's the thing that's why I'm still in the business, Michael.
Yeah.
I'm always looking for the next snow boot reference.
Yeah. Because Henny did those wonderful doctor jokes. And they were all funny. They were all hilarious. You know, so don't do that. Hilarious. I saw him one time at the State Fair in Milwaukee. And Henny Youngman with a violin. I was sitting right in the front seat there. It was in a tent. And so, all the doctor jokes and all the wife jokes. You can't do that anymore. But they were all hilarious. And no matter how many times you heard them, they were still hilarious. What's with that?
Well,
What's
I
with
remember
that?
watching. What's with that? I remember
Yeah.
watching a commercial that he did, like obviously before he died. He goes, "I went on a pleasure trip. I took my mother-in-law to the airport." Now that joke would not work today. No one knows what a pleasure trip is. No one has mother-in-laws anymore. I went on a pleasure trip. I took my mother-in-law to the airport.
Oh, it still kills me.
It still kills me.
That's a great joke. I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, yeah. Did you learn anything in advance about Salt Lake City that you could then use in the...
Well, I hate to be a hack, but it's, hey, are you Mormon? Hey, what's up with the Mormons? Hey, so I hear you don't like the Jews that much.
What's
in
with
this-
the talking
Yeah.
verbal or whatever it was?
What's with the magic underpants?
Yeah, okay.
Chachu.
Yeah,
I do it like a Dennis Miller.
yeah.
Remember when he was funny?
No.
No, I kid.
No, I
I
never-
kid the
don't.
right-wing comedians. I
Yeah.
kid the right-wing.
He was a comedian, Dennis Miller?
He was back in the 90s. He was.
Well, I'm shocked.
He was dry.
The greatest experience of my life. Can you overuse that?
Yes, I am guilty of hyperbole. That's all I do all the time. I'm constantly. I've never had a cup of light brewed coffee like this. Actually, I do get that one.
Has it been sitting in that cup all night is the question.
No, I made this especially for the show.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Yeah.
I'm not giving it to you. That would be for the show.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
You know, you got me through.
I almost felt
You
good,
got
and
me.
I felt bad again. Andy Kindler got up. It was like 7:30 in the morning, and made a coffee pot for my show.
What is Central Time? You referenced that in the.
That's what we're in here.
Oh,
So we don't know what it is. We're just in it.
I do mountain. What am I? This guy's on Mountain Time, sir. Mountain Time.
Yeah.
That's the other thing is you pretend the person in the front row is stupid. It could be a surgeon there, but you have to pretend they're stupid. So
Yeah.
I was coming to the club today in a car. Sir, a car has wheels and you drive it and you sing and. Or you get information from the audience. What's that book that has Moses in it? Right, the Bible. Thank you. Now you're part of the show.
Yeah. See that, and that's what I do at that point, because then the audience writes the rest for you. The Moses thing, they'll fill.
They'll fill in.
They got
but
all
what
that.
you don't do is, and I'm not a fan of this, is pretending that your own material cracks you up. You don't do that.
Yeah.
You don't do that. I can't help it, folks. I can't help it. I've been doing this show for 40 years. It still kills me.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Who
The greatest experience of your
these
life.
people?
Yes. Did you ever feel perhaps that you used the greatest experience of your life, misused it in a humorous setting?
Oh, have I done that? And
Yes.
Have I? You mean like you meet your heroes, or am I getting stumped? I think I got stumped by this one.
No, I'm stumped by the question myself, and I
and we'll be back.
We'll
be back
in
with
a hyperbolic situation where perhaps it wasn't the right approach for that particular item.
Right.
Yes.
I hope are you setting me up for something?
No, I don't know. Okay, I take it back. As a matter of fact. All right. Not your father's.
I wish that was
not
done
your
more.
father's is yours, isn't it?
What's that?
It's not your father's.
Oh, it's not your. This isn't your father's iPhone 7. This isn't your father's sports car. Why do we hate our fathers so much? This isn't your father's homemade Italian sauce. Yeah, my father happened to make great. It doesn't matter. It's not his.
Yeah.
It's done.
Yeah.
Forget your father's stuff. Okay, I got a little upset. I got a little hot there.
Yeah. Okay. And used a lot in advertising on it. Not your father's.
Yes. Not your
Ford Fiesta, whatever.
Whenever anything becomes more than 3 people doing it, it makes my head want to explode. Like on Twitter, it's always because science, or something much. Read books much.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't.
What about humor on Twitter? Now, I noticed you're pretty on Twitter. We get a serious defender of the faith, Andy Kindler.
Yes,
but I don't see much humor. I don't see many. Not your father's. Not your father's attorney general or something like that.
Well, you know what the problem is, and somebody pointed this out to me before I realized it. I downloaded my Twitter archive. If you look back at it 4 months later, it's like, why am I'm mad at Kissinger, or it's a joke about my pillow. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It doesn't hold up.
I'm still doing those.
Well, because that guy, I keep hectoring him. Yeah. He said he was going to make all these masks for people. Where are they?
Yeah. He was going to put pillows over their faces is what I see. Can you see that guy? That commercial he does where he comes out of the bedroom door, the closet door, with a pillow, and oh my God, he's going to kill him. And
and he does the whole thing like, so you wake up in the morning and now you have one of these and you go, that's no good. Can you believe this guy is hawking his pillows?
Yeah. And he does stump speeches now and Trump rallies, former rallies.
4 more months until we leave the country or not.
Yeah.
I'm leaving this time for real, Michael.
Well, I think we covered everything I have on anything that we haven't covered that you want to. Humor itself. How do you feel about it? What is it with this comic thing? Everyone's a comic now. What is it with that?
Oh, well, that thing, I will say that is the downside of Twitter is like,
Yeah.
It used to be that I was like, oh, everyone's pretty funny. And now you go, oh, everybody is doing, you know what I mean? We're all working off the same 7 premises.
Yeah. Can we number them and reel them off right now?
One.
What those?
Exaggeration. 1. Exact. What is it?
Yeah.
100 degrees in here? That's one form of humor.
Okay.
Then
2.
there's the also, when you're done washing your car, you want to wash mine?
That's your dad.
So,
That's your dad's reversal humor.
yeah, all day, right?
Well, I want to recommend that people get this album if it does exist physically or spiritually.
You can get it anywhere. You can
hence the
even go
humor.
to the actual record label.
Explain the title. Why hence?
Hence.
Hence is archaic.
Right. What happened was I was at a party.
Yeah.
And my friends were all laughing. And I was making fun of them. And I said, what happened? He goes, this guy did this one, that guy did that one. So I said, hence the humor. And I happened to say it to a comedian. And he said, you should, Leo Allen. It was a very funny comedian. He goes, that's a good name for a comedy album.
Yeah.
And the rest is not so much history, but it's a good anecdote for people who would know my name.
Yeah.
But that's it.
Yeah.
Hence the humor. But that's why I feel like at the end of every joke,
Yeah.
I have to kind of say that.
Yeah.
Because you see, you get it, folks?
Yeah.
Because I'm going to explain it to you.
All right. Excellent. Andy Kindler, hence the humor is the new one. Don't forget his podcast, the Downward Spiral. No, it's called Spiraling.
Thought Spiral.
Thought Spiral. And that's on iTunes. You can catch it there. And thanks, Andy, so much for getting up and making that pot of coffee for me.
I miss you, man. I mean, I'm speaking to you now, but I still miss you.
Yeah. Okay. We've never been together, so I don't know why you would, but
I'm going. I know. That's one of the things. I'll see you at the lanes when the reviews come out.
Thanks, Andy.
All right, man. Take care.
Okay.
Thank
take
you.
care. You too.